Hello, my friends. I am here with Jenny. She's the leader of Propel from ICF Zurich.
And I have asked Susanna, how do you do to grow intellectually?
Yes, and this is here what I told them I love to share with you. When it comes in terms of intellectual growth, I love to introduce you to my geranium experiences. 2 years ago, I bought for the very first time geraniums, and I had the perfect soil. I had a good pot. They had sun, they had water, they had everything what they needed. But as you can see on the picture, after summer vacation, they looked really sad. They were missing the flowers and they looked like sick. You see in the Swiss houses, actually the geraniums should look like this, and mine, you see on the other picture, look like that. You know what they were missing? They were missing fertilizer. And this is a great picture for me when it comes in terms of intellectual growth. Because intellectual growth is not the primary need in our lives, and that's why we often neglect and don't understand that we need intellectual input in our lives, such as reading books, listening to podcasts, and so on. And I made it one of my disciplines to have some inputs on a regular basis. First, I start with the book of all books, with the Bible. I read the Bible on a daily basis because there is also promise. It says in Proverbs 9 verse 10, I read it to you, if you really want to become wise, you must begin by having respect for the Lord. To know the Holy One is to gain understanding. So I really pay attention that I have the intellectual input through the Word of God on a daily basis. And then I plan to listen to podcasts on a weekly basis. And of course, because the God above all and who His thoughts are higher than my thoughts, that's why I go to church and I listen to a message and I go to a small group. This all helps me to grow intellectually. So, and I also read some books, even though I am not a very good reader, but I have some books around in my living room and next to my bed. And did you know that reading a book is something that most of the people quit when they left school? This really touched me. And we need some inputs in our lives, like the geraniums need the fertilizer in order to grow. And then I ask myself the question, when I get all these inputs, how can I apply it into my personal life? What do I need to make it in a very practical way? So for example, once I read that you don't say always, I cannot, if some requests are coming to you, and I am tempted to say, I cannot, I have no time, I cannot do that. But rather to ask, how can I? And then there was a really practical situation where I was reminded of exactly this sentence I read in a book, and it helped me to give the right answer, and to, rather than saying I cannot, ask how can I, and God gave me some ideas how I could accomplish this certain task. So I really hope to inspire you, like the geraniums. We need fertilizer in order to grow. That means we need intellectual inputs in our lives, such as reading books, listening to podcasts on a regular basis. So I really hope you enjoyed my input, and I love to see you next week. And by the way, more about this story you can hear in my other series, Punctuation Marks, when it comes into the episode question mark. Bye bye.